The sky above Earth darkened without warning. A shadow stretched across continents as hundreds of massive alien warships blocked the sun. Cities froze. Birds fell silent. The world held its breath. Then a voice boomed from the heavens deep, mechanical and merciless. "People of Earth, this is Supreme Commander Kelthrox of the Galactic Dominion. You will surrender now or be erased." Panic erupted. World leaders scrambled for emergency meetings. News channels screamed about the end of humanity. But in a secret bunker beneath Geneva, one man didn't even flinch. General Marcus Drake, a grizzled war veteran with scars older than some soldiers under his command, leaned back in his chair. He chewed on an unlit cigar, eyes locked on the holographic display of the alien armada. His officers stared at him, waiting for orders, sweat dripping down their faces. Drake smirked. He grabbed his radio. "Activate protocol, Laughing Giant." Then, Screen went black. The ultimatum Throx stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Doomhammer, arms crossed. His armored exoskeleton gleamed under the dim light of Earth's atmosphere. His 4 eyes narrowed as he watched the planet below. "Pathetic," he hissed. "No shields. No fleet. They will beg for mercy." His second-in-command, Vexel, nodded. "Their transmissions show chaos. They are weak." Kelthrox grinned, revealing rows of needle-like teeth. "Good, send the final warning. If they do not surrender in 10 minutes, we burn their cities to—" A beep interrupted him. The communications officer stiffened. "Commander, we're receiving a message from their military leader." Kelthrox scowled. "Put it on screen." The hologram flickered to life, and there stood General Drake, arms behind his back, looking as calm as a man on a Sunday stroll. "Kelthrox," Drake said, "we got your message. Here's our reply." He pressed a button. The laughter begins at first. Nothing happened. Kelthrox waited, claws tapping impatiently. "Is this a joke?" Then a strange noise echoed through the Doomhammer, a high-pitched, squeaky sound. Like a deflating balloon, the alien crew looked around. Confused. Then the gravity generators failed. Kelthrox yelped as he floated off the floor. Around him, warriors flailed in midair, bumping into consoles. Alarms blared, but instead of emergency sirens, the ship's system played, "Baby Shark! What is this?" Kelthrox roared. On Earth, Drake watched the live feed and chuckled. Phase 1 complete. The secret weapon 5 years ago, when Earth first detected alien probes scanning the planet, Drake had proposed a radical idea. "We can't outgun them," he told the world's leaders, "but we can outthink them." Scientists and engineers worked in secret, developing Project Giggler, a weapon that didn't kill but broke enemy morale. Now, it was paying off. Across the alien fleet, systems went haywire. One warship's plasma cannons fired rainbow-colored bubbles. Another ship's AI started telling bad jokes over the intercom. Troop carriers' doors opened and closed like a carnival funhouse, trapping soldiers inside. Kelthrox, still floating, screamed orders. "Override the systems!" Manual. "Control now." But it was too late. The final insult. Drake's voice crackled over the alien fleet's comms. "Hey, Kelthrox, you came to scare us?" A pause. "We're not scared. We're laughing." And then Earth broadcasted it everywhere. Every screen on every alien ship showed Kelthrox's face edited onto dancing cats. Clumsy fails and ridiculous memes. The alien soldiers couldn't help it. Some snorted, others giggled. A few full-on laughed. Kelthrox's face turned purple with rage. "Retreat!" he howled. "Retreat now." The aftermath. As the alien fleet fled, Earth cheered. Drake stood on a balcony, watching the last ships vanish. Into the stars? His officers clapped him on the back, but his smile faded as he looked up. "They'll be back," he muttered. Somewhere in the void of space, Kelthrox swore revenge, and beyond him, something darker stirred. The alien fleet had retreated in chaos, but Earth knew the battle wasn't over. In the underground war room, General Drake watched the last alien ships blink off radar. His officers cheered, but Drake's face stayed serious. "Get me Dr. Chun," he ordered. "We need to talk about Phase 2. 5 years earlier, the birth of a crazy idea. The screen showed shaky footage of the first alien probe spotted near Jupiter. World leaders argued in panic. We should build bigger weapons. The American president shouted. We must hide, cried the French ambassador. Drake stood up. No, we make them regret coming here. The room fell silent. Dr. Chun, a petite woman with wild hair, grinned. I have just the idea. The lab of madness deep in a Nevada bunker, scientists worked on Project Giggler. One team programmed viruses that turned alien tech ridiculous. Another group studied alien psychology, what makes them embarrassed. A third team built the laugh bomb, a device that hacked enemy ships to play pranks. Dr. Chun laughed as a test made a captured alien drone sneeze confetti. They'll hate this. Back to the present. The aliens regroup on the damaged Doomhammer. Kelthrox roared at his engineers. How did they do this? Vexel trembled. Their weapons don't hurt us. They humiliate us. The troops are calling it ... the human mockery. Kelthrox's claws dug into the metal console. Then we attack where their jokes can't reach. On the ground. Phase 2 begins. Drake watched as radar showed alien dropships heading for New York. Right on time, he smirked. Send in the clown squad? The alien dropships screamed through Earth's atmosphere like falling stars. Inside, the Dominion's finest warriors prepared for battle, their claws sharp, their plasma rifles charged. They expected screaming humans. They expected easy victory. They were not ready for New York City. The invasion that went wrong. First drop pod landed right in Times Square. Into a giant inflatable bounce house. The elite alien commandos tumbled like kittens, their armor squeaking against the plastic. Second drop pod crashed through a bakery roof. Into 3 feet of rainbow frosting. Warriors slipped, slid, and got stuck like flies in honey. Third drop pod opened its doors to reveal 100 angry pigeons. The birds attacked like tiny feathered missiles. Aliens screamed. The clown squad strikes from the shadows. Earth's most dangerously silly soldiers moved in. Sergeant Whoopi launched banana peels that made alien boots skate uncontrollably. Corporal Squeaky used high-pitched sound guns that made alien helmets vibrate like kazoo-sprivate bubbles. Fired foam that hardened into giant pink embarrassing statues. Of the aliens, a Dominion officer managed to grab a human soldier. You dare mock us? The soldier grinned. Mock you? We're just getting started. Kelthrox's rage grows back on the Doomhammer. The Supreme Commander watched the live feeds, his best troops slipping on whipped cream, getting pied in the face. One even wearing a clown nose somehow. Vexel trembled. The troops are laughing at themselves, Commander. Kelthrox's eyes burned with fury. Then we burn the entire city to beep. An alert flashed. Incoming transmission. Drake's face appeared, smiling. Having fun yet? Wait till you see Phase 3, the shocking truth revealed. Dr. Chun rushed into Drake's command center. We cracked their language fully. Their empire hates laughter because ... She played an ancient alien recording. A Dominion emperor screamed, Laughter breaks control. IT makes the weak realize they are strong. Drake's smile faded. Then this isn't just a trick. It's a revolution. The streets of New York had become a war zone of the absurd. Alien warriors slipped on banana peels. Their weapons fired harmless bubbles. Their once terrifying invasion had turned into a cosmic joke. Then the sky turned black. A new ship descended, 3 times larger than any before. Its shadow swallowed entire blocks. This was no ordinary warship. This was the Silencer, Kelthrox's personal doomsday weapon, and it was completely immune to Project Giggler, the ultimate weapon. Arrives. General Drake's smile vanished as alarms blared. Report! He barked. Dr. Chun's fingers flew across her keyboard. Their new ship has 0 computer systems. It's all mechanical. Our hacks can't touch it. On screen, the Silencer opened like a monstrous flower, revealing rows upon rows of old-fashioned plasma cannons. The kind that didn't need computers. The kind that could really kill. Kelthrox's face appeared on every screen in New York. ENOUGH? Games, now you die. The tide turns. The first blast hit Times Square. No confetti, no silly sounds, just pure destruction. Buildings vaporized in an instant. The clown squad barely dodged the fiery death raining down. Sergeant Whoopi's radio crackled. "Command, we can't stop this one with jokes." Drake clenched his fists. For the first time, he had no plan. Then a new voice cut through the chaos. "Actually, maybe I can help." Every head turned. Standing in the command center doorway was Vexel, Kelthrock's second-in-command, holding a white flag, the Betrayal U. Drake grabbed his pistol. "This is a trick." Vexel shook his head. "I served Kelthrock's for 20 cycles, but today I saw my people laughing for the first time." He tapped his chest. "We forgot how, your silly weapons." "They reminded us." Dr. Chun gasped. "That's why your empire bans laughter. It makes people think for themselves." Vexel nodded. "And now, I know how to stop the silencer." He leaned forward. "But we must hurry." The impossible plan. The group huddled around a holomap. "The ship is mechanical," Vexel explained. "But its fuel comes from here." He pointed to a vulnerable valve on the ship's underside. "Hit it with liquid nitrogen and the entire system freezes." Drake raised an eyebrow. "And how do we get close enough?" Vexel smiled for the first time. "We give them something else to shoot at." The grand distraction. 5 minutes later, every remaining Clown Squad member activated their gear at once. Giant inflatable duplicates of Drake popped up citywide holographic. Dancing aliens appeared on rooftop speakers, blasted the worst possible sound. Kelthrock singing love songs. The enraged commander roared, "Destroy it all!" The silencer's gun swiveled wildly, firing at every shadow. Meanwhile, a single stealth jet, carrying Drake, Vexel, and a tank of liquid nitrogen slipped unseen toward the ship's weak spot. The final countdown, 30 seconds. Dr. Chun's voice crackled in their earpieces. "Their guns are overheating when they pause to reload." A sudden silence. The cannon stopped firing. "Now!" Drake fired the nitrogen canister. It struck true ice, spread across the silencer's hull with terrifying cracks. Inside, Kelthrock felt his ship lurch. Warning lights flashed. "No, impossible!" Vexel's voice echoed through the dying ship. "The joke's on you, Commander." The fall of a tyrant. With a final groan, the silencer crashed into the Hudson River, harmlessly frozen solid. Kelthrock barely escaped in a pod, screaming promises of revenge. But his remaining fleet, they didn't follow him. One by one, alien ships powered down their weapons. Some even transmitted laughter across the coms. Vexel stood before Drake. "The Dominion will leave Earth in peace, and thanks to you, we will remember how to laugh again." A new dawn. As the alien ships departed, New Yorkers emerged from hiding. They saw something incredible: alien warriors waving goodbye, some even attempting human jokes. Dr. Chun wiped her eyes. "We beat them by making them laugh?" Drake finally smiled. "No, we beat them by showing them they could choose to be free." High above, the stars twinkled. Somewhere out there, Kelthrock plotted his next move, but for now, Earth was safe, and the galaxy would never be the same. Earth celebrated its victory for exactly 37 hours before the sky caught fire again. This time there were no giant ships. No grand threats. Just a single burning meteor streaking toward the Pacific Ocean. General Drake watched it from his command post, coffee cup frozen halfway to his lips. "That's not a meteor," Dr. Chun whispered. The object changed course. A silent threat. The alien pod hit the water without a splash. For 3 tense hours, sonar showed nothing. Then, blip, it vanished from scanners completely. Drake assembled the Clown Squad. "This isn't an attack," he said. "It's a hunt. Kelthrock is coming for me." As if on cue, every screen in the base flickered to life. The disgraced commander's scarred face filled the monitors. "You took my fleet, my honor? Now I take your greatest weapon, your laughter." The transmission cut out, showing one final image. A live feed of Vexel, chained and beaten in some dark location. "The trap is set, Dr." Chun's hands shook as she typed. "He's broadcasting from the old Giggler testing facility." "But that's a perfect trap," Drake finished. "He wants me to come." Sergeant Whoopi stepped forward. Then we send the whole squad. No, Drake strapped on his sidearm. He'll kill Vexol if he sees anyone but me. This ends today. The general left before anyone could argue. He didn't see Dr. Chen grab a small, blinking device from her lab. Into the dark, the abandoned facility loomed like a graveyard. Rusted remnants of failed experiments littered the halls, a gun that shot whipped cream, boots that made fart noises with every step. Drake found Kelthrox in the main lab, holding a knife to Vexel's throat. The alien looked different, desperate. His armor was cracked, one eye was swollen shut. You came alone, Kelthrox spat. Stupid, Drake shrugged. You lost an entire fleet to joke weapons. Who's stupid? With a roar, Kelthrox threw Vexel aside and charged. The real weapon to fight was brutal. Drake was strong for a human, but Kelthrox was built for war, bones cracked. Blood splattered old equipment, just as Drake collapsed against the laugh. Bomb prototype. Kelthrox raised his blade for the killing strike. Beep, beep. A small device rolled between them. Dr. Chen's voice came from its speaker. You wanted our greatest weapon? Here it is. The device projected a single image. Kelthrox. As a young cadet laughing with friends before the Dominion crushed his spirit, the alien froze. His hand shook. Vexel croaked from the floor. You ... remember. Breaking point for one terrible second, the room held its breath. Then Kelthrox screamed, not in anger, but in pain. He smashed the projector, then the walls, then his own helmet. Why? Does it hurt? He growled at Drake. The general wiped blood from his mouth. Because you're remembering you weren't always this. Outside, the clown squad burst in but lowered their weapons. Kelthrox didn't even notice. He just stared at his shaking claws. The choice silence. Then a sound no one expected, a chuckle. Kelthrox looked up, eyes wide. The chuckle became laughter. Not mocking? Not cruel, real, Vexel joined in. Then Drake. Soon the whole room was laughing, even the terrified scientists peeking through the door. Kelthrox stood suddenly. Everyone tensed. He picked up his knife. Did cut Vexel's chains, a new enemy as medics tended to wounds. Dr. Ching got an alert. General ... you need to see this. The screen showed deep space. Hundreds of new ships, sleek, deadly, and utterly humorless, moving toward Dominion territory. The Zerati Collective, Vexel gasped. They believe laughter is a disease. Kelthrox straightened. They'll purge every planet that resisted us. His eyes met Drake's, including Earth. The general nodded slowly. Then he did something unimaginable. He offered Kelthrox a hand. Guess we're both funny now. Oh. Epilogue. The galaxy's last laugh. 3 months later. A very different fleet assembled near Mars. Human ships with upgraded giggler tech. Former Dominion. Cruisers now painted with joke names, and at the center, the Doomhammer, its new captain, Kelthrox, wearing a custom helmet with smiling face paint as the United Forces warped toward the Zerati Armada. One transmission echoed across the stars. Let's show them what happens when the galaxy learns to laugh. The United Human Dominion fleet emerged from warp space to face their greatest threat yet, an endless sea of Zerati warships, each shaped like razor-edged tombstones. No lights, no transmissions. Just cold, dead silence. General Drake gripped his command chair. Any luck hailing them? Come, Officer Patel shook his head. They're ignoring all signals, even the ... funny ones. On the view screen, the Zerati Armada began moving as one. Not to attack. Not to communicate. To erase. The enemy, unlike any other Kelthrox, now wearing his new smile-painted helmet, growled. They don't fear laughter. They don't understand it. Dr. Chun pulled up horrifying data. The Zerati surgically remove humor centers from their brains at birth. Our weapons ... will do nothing. The first Zerati missiles launched, not explosive but silencing. Where they hit Dominion ships, all sound systems died. Crews opened their mouths to scream. But no noise came out. Sergeant Whoopi turned pale. They're not just killing us, they're killing sound itself. The fall of the Doomhammer direct hit. The mighty ship shook violently as the silencing wave spread. Kelthrox pounded his console, no sound. His crew's panicked movements became a terrible silent film. Then ... the lights died too. Drake watched helplessly as the Doomhammer drifted dark and mute. We need a new plan, now. Vexel suddenly grabbed his arm, pointing at scans. The Zarati mothership. It's not empty, it's full of... His voice dropped to a whisper. The terrible truth-enhanced images showed thousands of young Zarati in glass tubes, undergoing the same sound removal surgery that made their species so feared. Dorchun gasped. They're not born monsters, they're made into them. A new voice crackled. Overcomes Kelthrox, having escaped in a pod. We cannot fight them, but maybe ... Drake made a decision that would change history. Prep the lullaby protocol. Every officer stared. Even Dr. Chun looked shocked. But General ... we've never tested it. Then let's hope it works. The sound of hope as the silent Zarati fleet advanced. Every human and Dominion ship opened their coms to maximum. And they... broadcast ... a baby laughing ... the simple, pure sound rippled across the void. The Zarati ships hesitated, then a mother singing softly, then the sound of rain. Then a heartbeat on the Zarati mothership. Something impossible happened. One of the children in tubes ... smiled ... breaking the silence alarms blared on Zarati. Ships, not attack warnings but containment breaches. The children were waking up too soon. Their leader's face finally appeared on screen, eyes wide with panic. Stop this! You're destroying centuries of conditioning. Drake stood tall. No. We're giving them back what you stole. The transmission cut out as the Zarati fleet went into emergency retreat, not from weapons, but from the unbearable sound of joy. Epilogue. A noisy Future 3 Earth years later. The first Zarati children's choir performed at the Galactic Peace Summit. Their song was simple. Their voices were rough from new vocal surgeries, but when they laughed at the end, the entire universe heard it. As for Kelthrox, he opened the galaxy's first interspecies comedy club, opening night's headliner. Sergeant Whoopi, with a brand new routine about the quietest war in history, the laughter of Zarati children still echoed through the Galactic Peace Summit when the first distress call came in. This is colony ship Persephone. Something's wrong with our children. They're then static. General Drake felt ice crawl down his spine. He turned to the newly reformed Zarati delegate. You assured us the conditioning was broken. The delegate's facial tendrils trembled. It was ... unless... His eyes widened in horror. The backup protocol. A darker silence they are. Hyun's scans revealed the terrible truth. Every Zarati child who had rediscovered sound was now ... regressing. First. They stopped laughing, then speaking, then reacting at all. Kelthrox slammed a fist on the table, his smile painted helmet now. A grim reminder of failed hopes. This is no disease. This is sabotage. Deep in former Zarati territory, long-dormant beacons flickered to life, transmitting something. Something that made recovered children clasp their hands over their ears and scream in perfect silence. The source of the silence. The trail led to a dead planet, Zareth Prime, not destroyed by war but abandoned. Scans showed one structure intact. The Tower of First Voices. Vexel read the ancient records. This is where they invented the silencing procedure. There must be a failsafe, Drake finished. Something that reactivated when their children started laughing again. As their ship descended, the crew made a horrifying discovery. Their coms were dying. First static, then ... nothing. The silence was infecting their technology. The towers. Secret. The team moved through corridors lined with statues of Zarati with sewn-shut mouths. The air grew thicker, harder to breathe, as if sound itself was being sucked away. At the center, they found it, a massive machine called the Final Silence, pulsing with energy. And standing before it ... the last speaker, a single, aged Zarati, his voice box visibly scarred from removal surgeries, yet somehow speaking. You ... should not ... have come. Dr. Chin's equipment suddenly died. The lights failed. In the perfect dark, the last speaker whispered, the universe was meant to be silent. The choice Calthrox ignited a plasma torch. Its light revealed the terrible truth. The machine wasn't just transmitting, it was counting down, Vexel translated. The ancient script, when it reaches 0, it will permanently silence every being who ever regains sound. The last speaker smiled. Our greatest gift to creation. Drake looked at his team, their lips moving but no words coming out. Even. Breathing became difficult. The silence was becoming physical. Then a miracle. Sergeant Whoopi's whoopee cushion, accidentally sat upon in the dark, erupted with its signature silly noise for one glorious second. The machine stuttered, the sound of victory. Dr. Chun acted. Fast, wiring the cushion's audio chip to her dead equipment. If one stupid sound disrupts it. Calthrox understood. He removed his helmet and sang, not well, not pretty, but loud. The machine shuddered. The last speaker screamed soundlessly. Vexel added clapping. Drake stomped his boots. Soon the whole team was making noise any way they could. Whistling fingers snapping Gavin armpit farts. The final silence cracked. The countdown froze. And from thousands of light years away, the first recovered Zarati child giggled again. Epilogue. A universe of sound. The Galactic Council voted unanimously to preserve the tower, not as a monument to silence, but as a museum of mistakes. The last speaker, his voice box miraculously healed by the machine's backlash, became its first tour guide. His opening words to visitors, listen closely, and never stop. As for humanity, Earth declared a new holiday, Noise Day, where everyone makes as much ridiculous sound as possible, and floating in orbit, the newly repaired Doomhammer played. One constant transmission to the stars, a baby's laugh on infinite repeat. The celebration on Noise Day had just begun when every speaker on Earth suddenly died, not just stopped working, shattered. Glass windows cracked in perfect geometric patterns. Birds fell from the sky, their songs cut short. People opened their mouths to scream. But no sound came out. In orbit, the Doomhammer's transmission of a baby's laugh distorted, slowing, deepening, until it became something hungry. Dr. Chun's last message before communications failed was 3 words. It learned. Run. The soundless Plague General Drake watched from the Mars Command Center as the silence spread like ink in water. First, the outer colonies went quiet, then lunar bases. Then entire continents. Calthrox's armored fingers cracked the console. This is no machine. This is alive. The scans proved it. The final silence hadn't been destroyed. It had evolved. Now calling itself Hush, it flowed between stars as standing waves of perfect soundlessness, and it was coming for Earth, the only hope of Exel. Uncovered ancient Zarati texts showing the truth. Hush isn't just removing sound, it's collecting it. Every laugh, every scream, every song, stored forever where no one can hear them. Sergeant Whoopi, normally the Joker, looked deathly serious. So how do we fight something that eats noise? Dr. Chun activated a hologram Earth's first prototype resonance cannon. We don't fight it. We overfeed it. The plan was insane. Gather every sound ever recorded, mix them into one chaotic blast fire. It directly at Hush's core. Calthrox growled. And if it doesn't work? Drake checked his sidearm. Then the universe goes quiet forever. The sound of war preparing. The cannon required impossible sacrifices. Musicians played until their instruments broke. Historians uploaded millennia of speeches. The clown squad recorded every joke they knew. Meanwhile, Hush reached Jupiter. The gas giant's storms stopped mid-rotation. Silent lightning flashed in perfect, unmoving patterns. As Earth's atmosphere began stiffening like hardening glass, Dr. Chun made a horrifying discovery. We're missing one sound. The cannon needs every type of vibration or... Vexel suddenly stood. I know what's missing. The first sound. The team descended into the deepest vault on Zarath Prima Place even the last speaker feared. There, in a stasis field, floated a single atom. This, Vexel whispered, is the first sound ever made in the universe. The atom vibrated, a perfect, eternal tone from the moment of creation. As they carried it to the cannon, Hush reached Earth's orbit. The sky turned the color of absence. Trees froze mid-sway. Raindrops hung motionless. The countdown began, the final note hush descended like a curtain, the cannon fired, for one impossible second. Every sound that ever existed filled the cosmos. Dinosaurs roaring, ancient wars, lullabies, first words, the Big Bangs. Echo hush shuddered, then began swelling like overfilled balloon. It tried to consume the sounds, but couldn't. There was too much joy, too much life, too much noise. With a silent scream, it burst. The aftermath, the explosion of sound waves, did strange things. Flowers bloomed and space-dead stars flickered back to life. Every being in the galaxy remembered their first laugh on Earth. Children born deaf suddenly heard. The last speaker wept as his repaired voice box sang for the first time. And floating in the wreckage of hush. Dozens of glowing orbs, every stolen sound, waiting to return home. Epilogue. A noisy eternity. Years later, the galaxy developed a new art form, sound sculpting, using fragments of the cosmic explosion to create music no species could invent alone. The Doomhammer became a traveling concert hall. Kelthrox, now a surprisingly talented drummer, toured the stars with his band The Big Bang. As for hush, deep in space, astronomers occasionally detect strange, perfect silences, but they never last long. Someone always comes along, and laughs. 5 years of peace shattered when the stars started singing, not metaphorically, across the galaxy. Suns pulsed with eerie, perfect harmonies. Nebulae formed musical notes visible to the naked eye. On Earth, every piece of metal hummed the same 3-note sequence. Dr. Chun's instruments detected something impossible. The universe itself was remembering Hush's death and responding. General Drake stared at the Milky Way's new spiral pattern. It looked disturbingly like a laughing face. We didn't destroy Hush, he realized. We angered whatever created it. The cosmic composer deep in the reactivated Tower of First Voices, the last speaker trembled before newly appeared carvings. The Zarati never invented silencing, he whispered. We discovered it. There's something older, something that hates sound at a quantum level. Kelthrox's new band equipment short-circuited as his drums played themselves in reverse. So we're fighting the universe's angry god of silence? Vexel corrected him. Ex-god? Because someone just did the impossible. He pointed to real-time scans showing the cosmic music rewriting physical laws. Planets now orbited in perfect rhythm. Black holes emitted bass notes. Light itself vibrated musically. Sergeant Whoopi summed it up. We broke physics with a really loud mixtape. The first note. The team tracked the phenomenon's origin to the very edge of reality, a place where space-time frayed like old fabric. There, floating in the void, was ... a single vibrating string. Dr. Chun's hands shook. It's the fundamental string, the building block of everything, and it's pissed off. As they watched, the string plucked itself, creating a new universe beside ours where sound never existed. Drake grabbed the last speaker. Your people knew about this. How do we stop it? The old Zarati sighed. We don't, but you might. Because, unlike us... your species never learned when to stop making noise. The final concert. The plan was the maddest yet. Gather every musician in the galaxy, have them play against the cosmic string-out create. The creator Kelthrox's band ship became the stage. The last speaker, despite his people's aversion to sound, volunteered to conduct using the first atom's eternal vibration as his button. As preparations finished, reality itself began unraveling at the edges. Silent cracks spread through space, showing the nothingness of the new universe waiting to replace ours. Dr. Chun activated the galaxy-wide sound system. Ready to save existence with a song? Drake cocked his pistol. Not that it would help. Let's rock. The music war. The moment the concert began, reality fought back. Black holes screamed and disharmonious stars flared like angry cymbals. The cosmic string twisted, trying to snap their instruments, but humanity had an advantage in perfection. Where the universe demanded mathematical purity, the musicians played soul, a child's first piano lesson. A street performer's cracked voice. The clown squad's whoopee cushion solo. The string faltered, the birth of something new in the climax. Something miraculous happened. The two Universes merged not into silence, not into noise, into something richer. The cosmic string retuned itself, now vibrating with every sound ever made. The threatening void beyond became just another verse. As the music faded, new constellations formed shapes of instruments, laughing faces. Even a crude drawing of a whoopee cushion. The last speaker, tears streaming, whispered the words his species forgot long ago. Encore. Epilogue. A symphony without end in the new reality. Stars now hum lullabies to their planet's black holes, sing blues music. Earth became the galaxy's music. Teacher Kelthrock's band went multi-dimensional, playing gigs in alternate realities. Their hit single, We Broke the Universe and Fixed It with a Jam, went quintuple platinum. As for the cosmic string, it occasionally plucks itself not in anger, but just to hear the echo, and somewhere in the heart of every newborn's first cry. Song continues. The music of the reborn universe had played for 10 blissful years when the first note went wrong. It started small, a single child's laughter on Alpha Centauri that echoed backwards. Then a symphony on New Vega where every violin string snapped simultaneously. Finally, Earth's own sun began emitting a distorted, almost mocking version of Happy Birthday. Dr. Chin's new quantum sound scanners showed the impossible. Their victory had been part of something else's plan all along. The cosmic string wasn't fighting us, she whispered. It was tuning us. General Drake looked up at the stars now pulsing in perfect, terrifying harmony. For what? The answer came from beyond the edge of reality. For the final movement. The composer AWAKNS, the center of the galaxy, unfolded. Not a black hole, not a star. Something infinitely older, a being of pure vibration, its form shifting between 1,000 instruments. 1,000,000 voices, all playing the same terrible song. Kelthrock's cybernetic audio implants burst the moment he saw it. The Zerati myths, they spoke true, the maestro exists. Vexel scrolled through ancient texts with shaking hands. Not a god, the first musician, it played the universe into existence. And now it wants to play us out. On every world, every speaker, every mind, the same 3-note sequence repeated. Growing louder, call on dumb. The last speaker collapsed, blood trickling from his ears. It's not a song, it's a countdown. The instruments of WR as reality itself began vibrating apart. The team discovered horrifying truths. The maestro had allowed hush to exist. As a rest between movements, their great victory was merely the prelude. To its finale, every sound ever made was just practice for this moment. Chion's equipment showed the scale of their doom. Entire star systems were already resonating in tune, ready to shatter when the final note hit. Sergeant Whoopi, for once completely serious, asked the question no one could answer. How do you fight music itself? The last speaker, dying from sonic hemorrhaging, gasped his final words. You don't single quotes. You change. Song. Song. The great IMPR OVISATO, and the plan was madness wrapped in impossibility. Kelthrock's fleet would physically block the maestro's sound waves using salvaged hush technology. Chion's scientists would hack quantum reality itself to change the universal tempo. Every living being would sing not in harmony, but in beautiful chaos. As preparations raced against the ever louder countdown, Drake made a shocking discovery. The maestro wasn't evil. It's not trying to destroy us, he realized. It's lonely. It's been playing solo since the dawn of time. And we're its first chance at a duet. The final PRFORMC, when the last dumb shook existence, two things happened simultaneously. The maestro played its final nota, sound so perfect it would have unraveled atoms. The galaxy answered back with every possible noise except what the maestro expected. Children banged pots and pan starship engines roared off rhythmopee. Cushions blasted in counterpoint L cracks, screamed an alien war chant even. Black holes screeched like chalkboards for one eternal second. The maestro hesitated, and in that hesitation, something miraculous happened. It smiled. The encore over ELIT with a maestro's form shifted, no longer a single player, but the conductor of an infinite orchestra. Its new song wasn't destruction, but invitation. Supernovas became symbol crashes quantum foam, the world's largest synthesizer living beings, both the audience and performers Dr. Chun watched in awe as the laws of physics rewrote themselves into sheet music. It's not ending the universe, it's remixing it. And at the center of it all, General Drake did something he'd never done before he danced. Epilogue, the never-ending SONG in the new universe. The Doomhammer became a mobile music academy. The last speaker's tomb played gentle lullabies to passing starships. Hush's remnants were repurposed as soundproof practice. Room-scale Throx formed the first pan-galactic band. Their hit single, Big Bang 2.0, literally creating several pleasant new dimensions. As for the maestro, it occasionally drops by Earth, sometimes as a thunderstorm, sometimes as a street musician no one recognizes. As always leaving behind one perfect, unrepeatable note. And somewhere in the quiet between heartbeats, if you listen very closely, the song continues. The true end.